All right, hello everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a great day of Overwatch matches so far. Hanover Horde went up against a tough Shogun team from Franklin. Came out ahead on that one, so they're going to proceed to the championship. We just had a really fun match to watch with our heroes closing out their season against Loudon in a consolation match. But it was a lot of fun. It was a good match, a lot of back and forth. We'll call it a draw. They had to drop off right at 2 and had some connection problems. But thanks to our friends from Loudon for that match, and we're getting ready to kick this off with Cupertino. Grizzlies taking on our Hanover Hydra in the quarterfinals. So if they win this, they head to the semifinals, and then if they win that one, they head to the finals. Finals might not take place until Sunday. There's a lot of variables with all these matches running concurrently, but if we keep winning, we keep playing. So hoping to start things off strong here against Cupertino Grizzlies, which are a tough team. We watched a lot of tape this week. I think we got a good plan in place for what they plan on doing. So we'll get this thing rocking here in just a minute. So stick with us. We'll be right back after we get things set up after these messages. Take care.
They say that you can see the devil dance on idle hands, so we put in work. Amen. Put the city on my shoulder blades and molded waves. Focus on the future when it's rolling.
This is gonna be fun. What's this?
When it's no pain, it's no glory. Legendary grind for the history. Come to shut us down, you on what army? We about to go live for me.
Let me show you how the boss does it.
We put in work.
See ya.
Ain't no killing this energy. Spilling from the spirit, them lyrics be
They are nothing to me.
Come on! The grind don't stop. We giving it 100 till the squad on top. We put in work. The grind never dies. We giving it
Time for the fireworks.
We put in work.
Fire in the hole.
All right, welcome back. So just getting ready to kick into this match. Kings Row. It's Kings Row. I think New Bonnie and Hollywood are the maps today. These are hybrid maps, which means they need to secure the point. Once they get the point, they get the payload. They can push for 2 additional points for a total of potential 3 points for each round. Kings Row, probably one of the more common maps we've seen this season. One of the favorites in the Gold Division. And it's a lot of fun to play. It's really one of the really cool looking maps too. So our Hydra Hydra is made up of Dark Dragoon, Archangel, Twitch, LAXKJB71, Mellow Maniac, and Barebow Fragons. You can see their little numbers next to their names that correspond with the stations they sit at. We've also got Big Huge Daddy. That's actually Archangel playing on his dad's account. So we'll get this thing kicked off here pretty soon. Looks like we are have everybody in the lobby, so just waiting for the go-ahead from them to get this thing started. We still got another, at least one more match today with the Hanover Horde taking on the Madison Marvels in the championship match for the gold division. And then if our heroes, or Hydra, I should say, win here, we'll have another match at 5 p.m. against whoever the next opponent is. If they win that match, then we'll have one more match for the championship, which will take place maybe tonight if I can set it up. Right now there's like 7 teams, so it's hard to kind of lock in who that other final championship team might be. But once we kind of get some granularity after this round, I'll work on setting that up. Hopefully today, but it might trickle into tomorrow. So just waiting for the go-ahead from them that we are square to kick this thing off. We're just waiting on hopefully another minute or so. And this Hydra team's really come on of late. Spent a lot of the season working on not necessarily individual skills. A lot of times in the silver divisions, you're working on the teamwork aspect. It's really easy to get in this game and play as individuals and play really well as individuals. But if the team dynamic isn't there, it's really takes a while to pull that and harness that in. And they've really started to come together, really doing a good job communicating their ultimates, their ult combos. When you have a fight that's not winnable, really drawing back and not just sacrificing yourself in a death match. And those are really keys to kind of victory here. So welcome to King's Row. Again, as I said, this is a hybrid map. And the fact that one team will spawn, I believe the Hydra will spawn from that church right in front of us, past that double-decker bus. They'll try to proceed to this little garage here. They'll see a little kind of square come out of this once the teams unlock. And that's the point they're going to have to secure to get the payload out of. Once they get the payload, they get 1 point, and then they'll proceed down this path under that archway to try to secure 2 more points. All right, so it looks like the Hydra are running, they're going to be running PC6, is going to be running by Mellow Maniac running his Diva. PC3, Archangel is going to be running, Twitch is going to be running Sigma. PC5, LAXKJB is going to be running Widowmaker, so a little bit of change there. Dark Dragoon is going to be running Genji. Barebow Fragons is going to be running Lucio, and Archangel's going to be running Ana. For defense for Cupertino, they're going to be running a Zenyatta, a Junkrat, a Reinhardt, a Baptiste, a Roadhog, and a Reaper. So let's see how our Hydra respond. We've got, I think, a pretty good strategy here. Let's see if they're able to execute to that. Looks like they are going to go for the right-hand flank here. So they're going to go up these stairs and around. Let's see how this flanking maneuver works out for them. But a good hook. Wow. Great hook. Negates the play. Gets the Junkrat out of the fight early as they work their way up and around this flank. Looks like they're a little tied up here. They're getting caught fighting behind. They need to move together if they're going to execute this flank. So it looks like Twitch fell a little bit behind. They're fighting a battle, but they do get on the point here. Let's see if they can get some critical eliminations here as they get by this flank. But the Reinhardt streaks in, takes out a couple of players. Sigma, or Twitch, does manage to take out the Reinhardt, so that's a really good elimination there. With most of the team sent back to spawn, but a good opportunity here, taking out that Reinhardt. Let's see if the team can rally and get pushed to point here before that Reinhardt can make their way back here. So they need to push quickly. It doesn't look like they're moving as quick as they should. Looks like they're taking a little bit extra time to assemble here instead of pushing as we discussed. So a little bit of strategy. Looks like they're going to retry this flank push here. They're going to be able to chase that Reaper down, but that Reaper's going to be able to get out of there and move out of the way. Let's see if they can move a little bit tighter formation here than they did last time. Looks like we still got Sigma lacking behind there, so he needs to stay with the team. That's what the script is for here. So see if they get these early picks. Need a couple early picks, and then they can zoom on the point here. Diva does manage to get here on the point. So good press, but the rest of the team's a little bit too far and get behind him. He's going to be demeched here. So again, the team's not moving nearly as quick as they need to really execute that wide sweeping flank. So they need to reset here and try for a standard push. They got too many team members lagging behind to make that work. And again, not what we practice. But that's why we do the practices. They're going to try a more conventional push here. They do have the Junkrat tire, so we know how devastating that can be. So here comes the Junkrat tire. But this is actually coming from Cupertino. Takes out the Ana and the Genji of the opposing team. And we're going to have to reset this push. Just a minute 44 on the clock. So they're resetting here, trying. They tried something. Unfortunately, it didn't work out as well as it did in practice. But that's how things go. So the team's going to rally. Pretty sure they're going to do good. But a good hook gets into a Twitch there. Gets him some damage. So nice sleep there by Big Huge Daddy, getting a sleep on the opposing team. Here comes a Reaper ultimate, goes into the back line. They do manage to get that Reaper, though. So again, once they get those eliminations, they need to push here. They really need to be aggressive. Once they get 1 or 2 eliminations in King's Row is often enough to give you a numbers advantage to make this push. So Hydra being a little bit deliberate here. Looks like they might be trying this flank maneuver again. They really need to stay tight and together. Got this Roadhog trapped deep here. If they're able to take this Roadhog out, they're not able to. Again, kind of chasing down. Here comes the Junkrat tire. Let's see if it can do some damage here. See if it can drive all the way around and get back in deep here. It does. 2 eliminations there. That's probably enough. The rest of the team pushing on the point here. This is exactly what they need to do. Here comes the Diva Bomb. Probably didn't necessarily need that Diva Bomb, but does take care of the last of the players they probably needed to clear off to kind of secure this point. So they did manage to get that flank work, a much more coordinated push together. The first couple of times, they just had a couple players lagging behind, not sticking with the team. You've really got to dedicate yourself to those pushes, those flanks, because one member left behind just slows down the whole team, and it just makes for let your flank get torn apart. So again, lessons learned. That's what the focus of the Silver League is really get the teams playing, really dedicating themselves to not play an individual game, but play the team game. All right, so here we are pushing in. Junk gets a barebow frag and get over out front a little bit. He gets the hook at him. He's going to get taken out here. They do have their Roadhog ultimate going off, so the heroes, or the Hydra, smartly kind of fall back a little bit. They do have 2 minutes on the clock for this next push. This is one of the tighter corridors to try to get to. LAX, KJB, a couple nice eliminations there. Archangel gets a nice elimination on their Reinhardt. That should let them push here. They need to push smartly. They've got the numbers advantage. They need to be a little bit more aggressive here and push through this point. Instead, they're kind of hanging back, letting the opposing team kind of regroup. So again, I don't know why they're hanging back here, being a little bit conservative in their pushes here. Nice sleep by Big Huge Daddy. Looks like they're fully assembled here, ready to push in. They do have the Sigma ultimate. They do have the Nano Blades, so they can take advantage of that if they decide to push. 1 minute, 24 seconds. Another good hook by that Roadhog. Good blade there. Takes out the Baptiste. Barebow Fraggins takes out the Lucio from the opposing team, and that's going to let us get the push here. Reinhardt's going to get taken out by Archangel's... Dark Dragoon's Genji there, and the push continues. 1 minute on the clock. They need to make this next push quick. Here comes the Junkrat tire from the opposing team. Does take out the Genji and the Ana, so it takes out Archangel and Dark Dragoon there. So they need a really strong push here. They do have the junk tire. At this point, they probably can't conserve too much. They can't afford not to get to this next point probably on this push, because not a lot of time for another opportunity for push after that. They do have that Sigma ultimate too. Cupertino playing a little bit far back, letting us get that far push pretty far, but they step forward just in time to stop us from getting to the point. LAX gets a nice elimination on the Baptiste there. So see if we can drive them back far enough. Here comes a junk tire coming in, gets it behind that shield. Oh, goes off a little bit too high. Doesn't have the effect they want, but they do get to that second point. So that puts more time on the clock. Minute 41 seconds left on the clock. They still have a few ultimates under their belt. So they still have time and opportunity, but they can't afford too much to give up too much ground or time at this point. But so far, a good push. Started out really slow. They were a little bit deliberate, but at some point, I almost prefer to them be deliberate at this point of the season. It really shows they're keeping their eye on the clock and starting to work together, really trying to put stuff together. All right, good eliminations. LAX KJB gets 2 eliminations, but a good hook there by the Roadhog to take out Dark Dragoon's Genji. But the Hydra get around this turn here. They do have a couple ultimates. Let's see if they deploy those. Let's see if they try the bomb. They do have the nuke with the Sigma and the Diva. But Sigma gets taken out. LAX does get a nice elimination. 45 seconds left on the clock here. Looks like the Hydra are going to try to recoup for one more battle here. See if they can set up the nuke and execute that and get this last push. Just 35 seconds left on the clock. So just waiting on Sigma to get back up here. You have to imagine that's coming pretty soon. 24 seconds left on the clock. Here comes Diva getting in there. Nice placement. Oh, Genji has his ultimate. 1-2 eliminations there. Slam them back down, but they had their ultimate deployed as well. Genji, Twitch gets a nice elimination on the Reinhardt. This is the push where they need to make it happen. You just need to clear that Lucio off of the point here. See if they can clear them off. They are in overtime, but they can't afford to surrender the payload. They do have that junk tire. Let's see if they can have a little bit more effective junk tire this time. But Hog unleashes his ultimate. Here comes the junk tire coming in. But it's from the opposing team. Does manage to take out 2 of the Hydra. Baby Diva there trying to get in. Junkrat Tire comes in. 1, 2, 3 eliminations. But just as it comes in, they clear off Baby Diva. But Junk's there sitting on the point trying to take out this last remaining Baptiste of the opposing team. It's a 1v1. See if it buys enough time. They do manage to get rid of that Baptiste. But he gets hooked by the Roadhog there at the last second. And time expires. So you can see they were so close to getting that last point. They put up a heck of a fight, but Cupertino, good job on the defense there to kind of keep them from getting those last few meters to the point. If Junk just would have won that last battle, he did everything he could against that Baptiste, but that Roadhog came in there last second and put him down to hold them to 2. All right, so defense here. Setting up for the defense for this round. So here you see, again, here's the point that they're trying to get. It is reassuring when the kids, really try the techniques that you practice all week. So if nothing else, that was really neat to see them finally execute that flanking maneuver that we practice a lot. They did a really good job setting that up finally once they got everybody to kind of stick together and push as a team. All right, so setting up on defense here is our Hydra. They've got a Diva run by Melomaniac, Sigma run by Twitch, LAX KJB run by Junkrat, Dark Dragoon running his Genji, Barebow Fragans running Lucio, and Big Huge Daddy is actually Archangel running that Ana. And from the opposing team, they're running a Baptiste, a Junkrat, Reinhardt, Ana, Roadhog, and a Reaper. So let's see how the defense holds up here for the Hydra. So it looks like they're trying to flank themselves. They're kind of getting together up there in that building. So it looks like they're doing a combination of a flanking maneuver and a standard push up behind that Reinhardt. Good job by the Hydra to get back and kind of recognize that. They do have that Hog in behind them. Really good hooks by that Hog, which is tough to see in this silver match. A good sleep by Dark Dragoon there to sleep the Reinhardt, but a couple good picks there by Cupertino. 1, 2, 3, 4 picks. That's going to clear the majority of the Hydra off the point here. I'm not sure if we're going to contest. See if they get somebody down here to try to contest. Time is important here. And it takes a while for the payload to come out. Again, we told them to contest as long as they can, even if they are losing bodies. But they decided to fall back and hold this next turn, which is fine. All right, nobody has any ultimates at this point, but the junk tire should be ready for LAX KGB here pretty soon. Nice shield placement there by Twitch. See if they can hold this corner, hold this standard corner here. They do have the Junkrat tire. They'll probably hold off on placing that too early. Holding this, giving up a little ground here, giving up a little bit too much ground probably. Need to hold this corner. They keep falling back. They need to hold. Here comes the Junkrat tire though. That does get in behind the Hydra there and take out the Reinhardt. I'm sorry, it takes out the Reinhardt and the Baptiste from the opposing team, from the Grizzlies. So good job there. That kind of stunts their push as they were pushing kind of successfully past this corner. You really want to try to hold this corner because that gives you the longer fields of fire there. All right, Diva on Reinhardt batter. Hammered down though. It's going to set a couple of the Hydra back, but they're going to have beat, which is going to help them hold off that onslaught. So we still got Diva Bomb and the Sigma Ultimate of Twitch. So let's see if they can set up another nuke combo if they need it. Right now they're doing a pretty good job holding their ground. Here comes the Junkrat tire from the opposing team. Does manage to take out Bearbo Fraggins Lucio, but we'll trade a 1-for-1 on the ultimate any day. But an ultimate unleashed by the Reaper from Cupertino. 1, 2, 3 eliminations. That's going to allow them to gain ground here. And we'll see if the heroes, or Hydra, I should say, are able to respond, get back here on the point in time to keep them from rounding this corner. I think they should be able to make it back and do a decent contest before they're able to get to that point, but we'll see. Time is of the essence. They still have 2 minutes, 51 seconds left on the clock. They're not able to make it back. They got junked too far back there. He's all the way back there. I'm guessing he's waiting to get that next tire off. He does have a tire here pretty soon. So he might be able to set that off. Dark Dragoon also has that. Also has his ultimate. Big Huge Daddy falls from fall damage there. But the Hydra do have a few ultimates here. Doing a good job trying to conserve their ult economy. So good play here by both teams. They still have 3 minutes and 40 seconds. So that's a long time to try to hold the team. But they're capable of doing it, for sure. Twitch gets a nice elimination on the Reaper from the opposing team, so they're doing a good job holding this corner. 3 minutes, 15 seconds left on the clock. Everybody just about has ultimates once Twitch gets his ultimate. Reinhardt comes charging in, though, against Twitch, but Diva follows up, takes him out. Melomaniac, nice job to respond to that Reinhardt charge and send him back to spawn. So 2 minutes, 56 seconds left on the clock. They do have a Junkrat tire. And just done a really good job holding this corner. 2 minutes, 45 seconds. Here comes Reinhardt back. It looks like they're waiting for him to get set back up so they can kind of move in behind his shield. This is a game of clock and time management. You can see how far that they have to get. They just need to get around this corner. So we'll see if the ultimates start to come out here for the Hydra. Hammer Strike doesn't find too much damage. Again, we'll trade an ultimate like that all day with Cupertino. Their junk does manage to get a good junk. So here comes the Junkrat tire from the from Cupertino. Does take out Twitch. Here comes another ultimate. Gets nice sleep there by Big Huge Daddy to take them off the point there. Here comes the Diva Bomb right here on the point. Good placement, but unfortunately right behind the payload. Here comes the Junkrat tire coming in. Does take out a Baptiste, but not much more after that. So, unfortunately, a couple ultimates didn't really weren't as effective as the Hydra hopes, but they still have the ultimate from Dark Dragoon that they could use. 1 minute, 30 seconds left on the clock. They need these final couple holds from pushes from the opposing team. Here comes a Roadhog pushing in. He's deploying his ultimate. Nice shield there by Twitch. Nice sleep there. Again, by nice timely sleep by Archangel. It's a fight. This is really where you need a call. Twitch gets a nice elimination on their Reinhardt. Beats deployed for the Hydra. And here comes the ultimate by Dark Dragoon. Doesn't manage to find anybody home, but does some significant damage. Another good sleep on their Doomfist. Battle all over the place. 45 seconds left on the clock. This is going to come down to the last few seconds of potentially overtime. Here comes a Meteor Strike again. Not too much damage there. Waited for the Hydras, doing a good job, but a couple eliminations, trading eliminations on both teams. Just fighting taking place all over the place. Trading eliminations on both sides, but the Hydra doing a good job stalling. Just 20 seconds left, but the Cupertino, the Diva Bomb comes in. Let's see what that do any damage. It does not do any damage. It gets a little bit too far. It needs to be in front of the payload. Hydra doing a good job trying to hold this final point. They need to get in there and get in there quick. Here comes the Junkrat tire. Is it going to make it there in time? The Hydra do get there in time. We are in overtime. Here's the last point. You can see how they just need to push it a couple meters, but we are right here at the spawn of the Hydra. So the Hydra are getting back quicker. Twitch gets an elimination on the Reinhardt, the opposing team. Big elimination. Junkrat gets an elimination on their Baptiste, clearing them off the point. Overtime, just as the overtime was about to expire, they get back. Reaper ultimate comes here on point. He gets out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just the Junkrat and the discorded Zenyatta on the point at this point. They just need to drive him off, which they do, but the Zenyatta gets the elimination on the Junkrat last second. Unbelievable battle between the Grizzlies and Hydra here. Wow, that was an amazing match. I can't believe that. The Zenyatta Junkrat was just buying this time as soon as his invincibility went away. And here's this ultimate by the Reaper that really was a difference in the match. He deployed it at a perfect time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eliminations. It allowed him to push that payload that last little bit and end this thing. But wow, what an amazing battle between these two teams. A lot of fun to watch. The Grizzlies are going to go up 1-0 in this first map, but that was a good first round, and we'll get to second round here in just a second, so stick with us.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rip it. It doesn't matter at all.
Esports is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We're taking that and we're delivering it to elementary and middle school kids.
Yo, you guys are getting pretty wrecked by me. Dad, all right, push up with me, push up with me.
We're bridging the gap between conventional athletics and competitive gaming. We have kids working on the same technology that the pros are training to improve their skills.
When did you lose? When did you lose? Why did you lose? Like the games that you lost, why did you lose?
Through a partnership with the Positive Coaching Alliance, our coaches go through a double goal certification. They learn not only how to work through the strategies of the different games they're playing, but they also work through how to impact these kids' lives in a positive way. They get to mark and highlight behaviors and attributes that will lead to long-term life skills. You love being Battle Mercy.
Yes, Battle Mercy.
No, it's not. Why don't you tell us your favorite move that Mercy does? So what brought me to XP League is the experience of my children. I had always hoped and wanted them to be a part of a youth athletics team. So I realized they all love competitive gaming. So why not marry their passion with what I'm hoping for them to learn and achieve and put healthy, solid values in place in something that the kids want to do and are excited about doing.
Yes, Boots Diva!
Experience points. Every game awards experience points. And what we built here is an experience. professional level equipment, the top tier partners in esports. They're also getting the experience of sportsmanship values, of working with mentors and coaches, and of being part of the team. It's all about the experience.
I need you. I need you. Nice. Go. Group in now. Push in. We don't have to. Good game.
All right, welcome back, everybody. If you missed that last round, wow, what an amazing match. That's one for the ages. That was really tightly contested on both accounts. Really well played by both teams. I hate that there's a winner and a loser in that match, not just because we lost, but because every kid played their heart out that time and just made for some really good Overwatch viewing. So this is Numbani. There you can see where I just took off from. That's the payload. So this is the first point you got to secure, a little bit further away than the previous point. So here's the spawn. For the team, the Horde are going to be, the Hydra, Hanover Hydra are going to be assaulting first. They're going to be in red. They are going to be running their standard comp with Diva, Sigma, Junkrat. They will be running Genji, Lucio, and a Ana. And from the Cupertino, they're going to be running a Sigma, a Junk, a Rhine, a Baptiste, a Moira, and a Symmetra. So they got the teleport capability. So we'll see how they hold, see if they decide to play more so on the point versus away from the point. A lot of combinations that you can play. And let's see how the Hydra execute their maneuver coming out on the assault here. So coming down here, I think they'll be going to go left side flank here, trying to take the high ground. That's good because it looks like they're playing the low ground, but they do have that Symmetra TP. So here comes the Hydra through this tight little corridor. They get through uncontested out to the point. Let's see if they can work their way down to the point before they get stalled. Junk gets a nice elimination on the Moira. D.Va gets in here. This is a much better execution of that high ground flank than they ran in Kings Row. Couple good eliminations. Junk, played by LAX KJB, gets another nice elimination. They need to focus their fires here. LAX takes out the Rhine. LAX taking out everybody. 1-2. He must have had 4 of those 5 eliminations, taking out the Symmetra, and just quickly as that, they start earning credit towards the point here. They do manage to take out that Sigma. Finally, they take out the Symmetra TP, and they are on the payload ready for the push. So really great job so far by this Hydra team. That is exactly how we executed in practice. So you could see how they kind of lagged behind in Kings Row their first couple pushes. That time, everybody was committed to the push, and that's how flanks work. That's how it works in real combat. Everybody needs to be dedicated to the flanking maneuver, and then it works. If 1 or 2 people lag behind, the entire flank can be vulnerable, and next thing you know, it falls apart pretty quickly. So really good job there by the Hydra. All right, so Sigma or Twitch gets a nice elimination on the Baptiste as this payload continues to push. Here comes a junk tire. Was that 2 junk tires? Hard to tell. It looks like that might have been 2 junk tires. Actually, that was a junk tire just from the Hydra. Didn't find anybody home, but a couple good eliminations by LAX and Barebow to kind of take out the DPS of the opposing team, and the payload is continuing. So here comes a Junkrat tire from the Cupertino. Doesn't look like it does any damage there to the Hydra. Both Big Huge Daddy, that's actually Archangel, gets a nice elimination. LAX gets a couple more to keep this payload moving. So good job by this Hydra team. Way to respond after a tough loss last round to keep this thing. So they get to the second point pretty quickly. 5 minutes, 39 seconds. That's a lot of time on the clock. And the payload continues to push here. So really solid push here by this Hydra team. Good deflects there by Dark Dragoon. Big Huge Daddy. Archangel there gets a nice elimination as playing that Ana. You can see they're holding this corner here, but the Hydra managed to get some space there and keep this payload moving. Doing a good job. They do have quite a few ultimates stacked up. They do have the nuke that they can potentially deploy here. So here comes another junk tire. Gets in behind the shield that time. 1, 2, 3, 4 eliminations for LAX KJB's junk tire. Big elimination. They're going to take out that Reaper and that Orisa for the team wipe, but they should probably be able to get back here. We'll see if they can get back in time. They got a little ways to go. See if they can body block the doors. Here comes the D.Va bomb. Unfortunately, off the mark a little bit, but does manage to take out 1, 2. They get the push. 4 minutes, 26 seconds left on the clock here. Great push by this Hydra team. Great response based on the end of that match last time. Executed just like we did in practice. That makes me really proud of what these boys did. That was a great execution. So you can't do it much better than they did that right there. So way to respond. One thing we always talk about, is resiliency and not shake it off the last match. It doesn't matter in 7 seconds. It doesn't matter in 7 minutes. It won't matter in 7 hours. So shake it off and be resilient and be ready to come back and get them next round, and that's exactly what they did. So setting up on defense here. So we'll see what defensive scheme. I imagine the Hydra is going to be playing their same comp, which is they've been working on all season. They've all kind of settled into their roles really well. Cupertino is going to be bringing in a Baptiste, Reinhardt, Junkrat, Lucio, Roadhog, and a Reaper. So knowing that the Cupertino played that Symmetra last time on defense, which was interesting, they might kind of be setting up more on point versus pushing forward to account for that. because that's Symmetra can TP behind you. But obviously they're not running a Symmetra this time. So that may have been why they ran that Symmetra on the first defense to kind of throw off the defense that the Hydra throws. So just kind of the chess game that takes place between the players and coaches throughout these matches. So it looks like they're going for more of the low ground flank here. You can see them stacked up below. Need to get a shield out there in front of the team. A nice job raining fires into that zone area there. This is a tough first point to defend because there's so many avenues of approaches from both teams. So they really need to focus their fires here. Their Junkrat from Cupertino gets 2 eliminations. Their Reaper gets another. Twitch gets a nice elimination on their Reaper. But a couple more eliminations there for Cupertino is going to make it tough. And this point's going to fall to Cupertino pretty quickly as well. So good job by Cupertino. Barebow Fragan's going to get in there, try to stall for time. Again, that's something we told him. Try to stall this first point as long as you can. Every second counts, as we saw in that last map. If it had just been a second more, just like that Junkrat gets in there again, you want to stall this first point. It takes a while for this first point to unlock. The longer you stall the opportunity, you can't just give up on this first point. And that's exactly what they're doing. Again, doing what they were coached to do. Great job here by the Hydra. They might be sacrificing some eliminations here and there, but they're stacking themselves, staggering, buying time off this clock, and they might be able to get a good ultimate here. We got Junkrat coming in. He has that tire. He could clear him off this point and reset this thing and drive more time off the clock. So Barebow Fragan was the first one to get back, stalled, and the rest of the team's just been trickling way back. They've been getting their eliminations, which is fine. Here comes a Junkrat tire coming in here. Let's see if it finds its way home before they secure this first point. A little bit late getting that Junkrat tire in, unfortunately. Does get 3 eliminations, 1, 2, 3. So the heroes Hydra need to push in and take advantage of that numbers advantage that they have right here. But good stall, really good stall. That's exactly what they need to do. They finished really quick. Clock is on their side. Now they need to stall this push from Cupertino and try to get them from the second point. 4 minutes, 15 on the clock. So good elimination by LAX to take out the Lucio from the opposing team. Here comes another Junkrat tire, this time from Cupertino. Does take out the Archangel and, not Archangel, it takes out Dark Dragoon and Archangel, actually. Yeah, it does. All right, and their push continues. Hydra playing defense here. Baby Diva gets, Diva gets demeched here. So Hydra consolidating here, trying to hold. There you see the second point that they're trying to hold him from getting to. They do have a couple ultimates here. Do have Nano. They need to hold this point if they want to hold this point. See if they pull something out. Good deflex there by Dark Dragoon. Let's see if they try to set something up here. Here comes the ultimate. They can't get the Diva Bomb off soon enough, though. They do manage to get 1, 2, 3 eliminations from it there by Twitch. Diva follows up with the 4th elimination. So good job. They couldn't do an ult combo there, but they didn't need it. That Twitch ultimate came in at a good time. They were low on power and ended up taking 3 of them out on its own. So great job there by the Hydra to defend. 2 minutes, 48 seconds. You see how far they have to push it to get to the second point. And here comes the Grizzlies right back. So again, in these fights, it's really critical you're targeting the opposing player cumulatively as a team and not just fighting all over the map. Looks like that's something we need to focus on. A lot of individual fights going on, not a lot of team fights focusing their fires. Here comes a Junk tire again. Maybe comes in a little bit late. 1, 2, 3 elimination. It seems to be just a second late each one of these times. But they do manage to knock 4 players off the map. They do execute their hammer strike there, but with being down as many players as they were, it's going to take the rest of their team to get back. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. The Hydra just need to keep the Grizzlies from pushing this from the second point to the third point. So they're in good position. 3 minutes is a long time, but at the same time, this is the easiest. Now that Reaper ultimate comes in. They do get 2 eliminations. They managed to avoid more significant damage, though, so good way to hold. But that Reaper's going to follow up with 2 more eliminations, chasing down D.Va, too. D-Mech the D.Va. That's going to be tough, but they did expend just about all their ultimates. They do have that junk ultimate. So going to come down to this final hold here. See if Cupertino is able to drive this into overtime. Here comes a D.Va bomb right on top of the payload. 1-2 eliminations. Good job there. Dark Dragoon gets another elimination. And then he stacks 1 more on top of it. Going to drive most of the team back to spawn, and they'll be able to reset for their next defense. They do have beat from Lucio, but there's also a junk ultimate for Cupertino Grizzlies. So the Hydra have to be aware of that junk ultimate. We know how devastating that can be. That junk ultimate and that Reaper ultimate. You have to imagine we'll see one of those each before the end of the match. 2 minutes left on the clock. Sigma ultimate. Doesn't really do too much damage. Here comes a junk tire. Does manage to take out both support elements for the Grizzlies. They should be able to concentrate fires on that Reinhardt, which they do, and send the majority of them back to spawn. So that junk tire came in handy. Again, a little bit better usage of the ultimates, spreading them out versus kind of saving them all up for the last fight. So Hydra is doing a really good job. 1 minute, 18 seconds left on the clock. Here comes a junk tire from the Cupertino. Does manage to take out Archangel and, Dark Dragoon and Twitch for the Hydra. They should be able to get back here pretty soon, though. See, Cupertino is full strength on the point at this point. But here comes a Nano. We got a Nano Blade going on. See if he's able to do some damage. Does take out 1, 2. So good way to pair up Dark Dragoon and Archangel to pair up for that Nano Blade. 36 seconds left. The Grizzlies have about time for 1 more good push. They do have that Reaper ultimate. That is what saved them last time and allowed them to push a significant way to the final point. You have to imagine that's coming in, and the Hydra have to be prepared for that. At the same time, we have the nuke. We have the Sigma ultimate and the D.Va bomb. Let's see if we put that here. See if we send that off. There's the D.Va bomb. Goes in deep there. Gets 1, 2, 3 eliminations. Big D.Va bomb there. Here comes a junk tire, though. We'll see if that gets here. It actually doesn't go off. That's the junk tire for the Hydra. Here comes the Reaper ultimate, though. Good job by D.Va to drive him away. They do get 2 eliminations there, though. So this match isn't over. It's in overtime. They do get a couple more eliminations. The Hydra were all standing on the point, celebrating victory a little bit too early there. That Reaper dropped in the last second. They needed to be spread out. They were not ready for that. But the Hydra need to regroup here. They still have plenty of time to get back here full strength. They don't need to be just throwing themselves into fray. They need to reset and really rethink their defense here. They just need to clear them off the point here, so they just need to be smart, get their picks where they can get their picks, not be too desperate. They're looking a little bit desperate here, throwing themselves a little bit scattered into this fight. They have plenty of time. They have the clock and overtime in their favor, so just need to play solid defense and get together, concentrate, focus the opposing players. I can't believe that they were all standing on top of that payload when that Reaper came in. Sigma comes in. He's going to take out Twitch. They're throwing themselves too much into this fray. Now it is kind of panic mode, so they can't give up on this. So this is for it all. You use the ultimate unleash there. Fortunately, it doesn't find anybody home. They do have the beat that they'll be able to hopefully deploy here to give them a little bit more defense. Good eliminations on both sides here. Hydra is doing a pretty good job. Diva's coming in here. They need to hold this point. But Cupertino is doing a really good job getting those eliminations too. Here comes Lucio. Barebo's Fragrance coming in, trying to clear it off, just trying to buy time to get his team back. Again, just zipping around, doing a good job avoiding damage. Here comes another Junkrat tire, comes flying in here. See where that's coming from. See if that finds anybody home. Another Reaper ultimate comes in. 1-2 eliminations for Cupertino. You can see how close they are. This is just a melee battle at this point. D-Mech, the baby diva, he's trying to hold the point along with LAX KJB. They're just trying to hold here so hard. You know, you can see how close they are. This is an epic battle, and then they do it. So hard to believe they fought that. Now, this match isn't over, folks. Remember, the Hydra pushed really quickly. So Cupertino's got a little bit of time on the clock here. Hydra had that thing sealed up. They need to be a little bit more cognizant of a counterattack. They kind of fell victim to being a little bit complacent there. That allowed Cupertino to get back into this and force this thing into extra time. So each team will have as much time as they have on the clock. You can see the Hydra clearly have the advantage here. With 4 minutes and 26 seconds with their really fast push. But way to respond to Cupertino. All right, so the Hydra will be pushing first. So they got 4 minutes and 26 seconds here. They'll be running their same comp. For the defense, looks like Cupertino Grizzlies are going to be running a Moira, a Junkrat, a Reinhardt, a Lucio, a Diva, and a Reaper. You have to imagine they're set up, and they are, for that high ground flank. We'll see if the Hydra stick with that or if they change their approach this time around. It worked really well for them last time, clearly. Looks like they're going for the normal approach. So good, smart move. Way to change their approach for the Hydra to get in here. They were set up for the high ground because that's what they did last time. But they did a good job. Couple good eliminations there by Dark Dragoon and Diva, played by Melomaniac, but eliminations on the other side as well. Good fight here. Fight's going to favor Cupertino at the moment, but Hydra getting back quickly with their numbers to try to secure this first point. Just need to secure this first point here. They need to be smart. They've got the opportunity here to clear this off. They need to focus their fires. They're fighting a lot of individual battles and not necessarily focusing their fires here. So that's why they're losing a lot of these battles. The other team's done a better job focusing those fires. So they will reset and recock for this next push. Good defense there. Way to respond. The heroes, or the Hydra, had the advantage on the initial push. But the Cupertino Grizzlies reacted well, did a good job focusing their fires. And the Hydra kind of fought one-off battles, which isn't what we want. We want everybody targeting one player on the opposing team in order to kind of help. Junkrat gets an early elimination on Dark Dragoon on that push, playing that Genji. Diva's coming, diving in here, diving on the point. That's going to draw the rest of them back to point. The rest of the team needs to be closer behind them. They're a bit slow to get to point. So he's going to eat a lot of damage. Let's see if they can do some damage here. Junkrat ultimate goes off. So does the Sigma ultimate. Really unable to really translate that Sigma ultimate into anything because nobody else was able to follow up. So trading eliminations on both sides, but again, favoring the Cupertino defense. The Hydra are going to have to reset here. All right, 2 minutes, 17 seconds on the clock here. Still plenty of time. The clock favored them, so they, but they're falling apart on their pushes here. They're moving when that assault needs to happen. When that Diva dives in there, everybody else needs to go with them. Here comes the Diva bomb. See if it can find anybody home. Does get 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 eliminations there. Here comes the Junkrat tire. They threw the house at this one. That clears them all off the point. Allows them to get a tick on the point and the win for this round. So Wow, what a back and forth with this Grizzlies team. It's been insane since there was no time on the clock. All the Hydra did was need to get one tick, which they did. They threw all their ultimates at that and won that round. So epic back and forth with our friends from Cupertino, East Coast and West Coast, battling it out here. There you see Junkrat, LAX KGB, 1, 2, 3 eliminations, followed up with one more elimination to get that player of the game. So let's credit the Hydra, and we're going to go to our third round map, Hollywood here. This is a lot of fun to watch. If you're not a Overwatch fan and you want to kind of get into it, this is a great match to do that. So let's take a couple-minute break. This thing's tied 1-1, going to the third and final map, and we'll be right back after these messages. All right, welcome back. This has been an epic battle, exciting day of Overwatch all around, and this match has taken the cake so far. So the Grizzlies won the first one, the Hydra won the second one, and each one has been epic back and forth between these two teams. Have been a lot of fun to watch. So here you see the first point. Or I should say the second point. They'll navigate from the first point, which is right here, where they actually get the payload. Typical defenses either play the high ground here or try to play this corner from the spawn point, which is the Chinese Theater. I don't know if we can still call it Chinese Theater anymore. I don't know what they call it, but that's what it kind of simulates, the Hollywood Chinese Theater. Again, probably playing defense, usually low ground defense somewhere between these two corners here. Using as much natural cover as you can. So the Hydra are going to be pushing first. They are in red. They're playing Diva, Reinhardt, or I'm sorry, Diva, Sigma, Junkrat, Genji, Lucio, and Ana. And from the opposing team, from Cupertino, we've got Ana, Junkrat, Reinhardt, Moira, Roadhog, and Doom. So a little bit of a comp change. They got they had to sub a player out. Looks like they subbed in that Doomfist. We'll see how this shakes out. All right, and there's, you see the Cupertino's defense. More of a onward assault here, more of a straightforward assault by our Hydra here. That Doom does manage to get an elimination on the back line. So that's one thing you got to be careful of with those Doomfists. You've got to be able to make sure that they don't get into your back line. So it looks like trying maybe for a flank here. You got the Twitch all by himself in that corridor. He needs to get with his team. A little bit separated there. It looks like they got it separated on that push. A little confused as to how they were doing it. We've got an Ana down below, a Junkrat up top. So we'll see how we set up for this next push. 3 minutes, 12 seconds left. All right, here comes the Hydra pushing in here. A little bit better push. LAX gets 1, 2, 3 eliminations. Good elimination there by Dark Dragoon. They're going to be chasing down this Roadhog here, see if they can concentrate their fires and take out that Roadhog. Once they do, they'll be able to start earning credit towards their point. They do. Barebow Fragon's going to chase him down, and they should be able to. Looks like they are going to try to contest this. That Doomfist gets in there. Moira does get elimination on Barebow Fragons. Twitch gets elimination on that Doom, though, so they are contesting this point. They do take out that Reinhardt, though, so they're doing a much better job concentrating their fires here, continuing earning credit, and they capture the first point here. 4 minutes, 48 seconds left on the clock. Great job by the Hydra. A much better job calling and concentrating their fires that time. Something that we talked to them between the matches that they need to do better. So you can see a Roadhog getting in behind them here. Way to recognize that by the Hydra. Good sleep there by Archangel. Barebow Fragon's going to go in after him, chase him down. He's going to get hooked and taken out, though, so they need to make sure they're not chasing away from the payload. That's easy to do in this map, but fortunately most of them get back and get back up on the payload. It's easy to get to chase one of the opposing players into these corridors, especially when they get low. Hammer Down there does manage to do some damage, and they follow up with a couple eliminations on the Hydra, but Mellow Maniac does a nice job taking out the Reinhardt from the opposing team. But Dark Dragoon's going to get taken out. Baby Diva is going to get demeched there. And the Hydra are going to have to reset on this push. 3 minutes, 39 seconds left. So lots of fighting taking place kind of all over the place at this point. They look like they're going to try to reset here. Reset and start their push here. Looks like they're just waiting on one. They do have a nice complement of ultimates, but so does the opposing team. And here they go, getting on the point. So here comes a junk tire. Let's see where that winds up. Good elimination there by the Junkrat tire to take out the Doom, allowing them to keep pushing this payload. That Doom they've obviously identified as something that they need to focus their fires on. And there's lots of fights taking place behind the payload. Cupertino is fighting behind the payload, which is what you want. You want the opposing team fighting behind the payload. Here's Convalescence unleashed by their Moira. Here comes another Junkrat tire from the opposing team. Does take out Twitch as a Sigma. Oh, a couple more Junkrat eliminations by Cupertino. And that's going to allow them to stall this payload push. But they do have Nuke available to them. They have Sigma's Ultimate and Mellow Maniac's Diva Bomb, as well as the Nano. Even though it looks like Mellow Maniac's getting eliminated there off to the side of the map. So the Hydra are going to have to reset and retry this push here. 2 minutes on the clock. So Hydra getting ready to set up for their push here. Fighting's taking place away from the payload. They need to get to the payload. Cupertino doing a good job contesting their movement towards the payload. Let's see if we have an ultimate go off here soon. Mellow Maniac does have his ultimate, but with so many players of the Hydra being back and set back to spawn, they're going to have to wait for the next push here. So they need to find a way to work quicker towards point. They kind of got stalled in a fight versus pushing and trying to find safer routes to point. So let's see if they can move a little bit more strategically to point and not getting too many battles on the way. Only a minute, 4 seconds left. Looks like they're doing a better job taking kind of a back route to the point, which is a smart move. So here they come down. They do have Diva Bomb. Let's see if it goes off at this point. Here comes a Diva Bomb. Unfortunately, it goes off on the side of the payload. He needs to get that away from the payload, but they do manage to give him some ground. Sigma ultimate goes up. That does help him get that elimination on that Ana. Here comes a Junkrat tire, though. Does manage to take the LAX KJB's Junkrat tire out, but Hydra have an opportunity here. Good hook there by the opposing team with the... just 24 seconds left. Cupertino's done a good job stalling this Hydra push. The Hydra need to get here quickly. Just 15 seconds left on the clock. They just need to run to point at this point. So here comes LAX. He does have his ultimate, so we'll see if he can get... But he gets taken out there by a hook by Roadhog. You can see Lucio snuck in there. He's hiding in front of the payload, holding this point. Doing a really good job just hiding there, biding time. That was a good play. It allows time for Diva to get there. See if Junk can get his tire in here. Here comes the Junkrat tire. I don't know if it's going to get there quick enough before overtime. Somebody needs to get on point. They do get on point. Here comes Junkrat tire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eliminations, but nobody's on point to take advantage of it. Oh my, huge Junk tire, but unfortunately they didn't tie it out well enough. And nobody was able to get on point after that devastating blow. So they did manage to get 1 point, though. But it's going to be a tall order to hold off the push of Cupertino here. So epic, epic battles every time between these two teams. Been a lot of fun to watch. They just about got there, and I think eliminating all those players, if they'd have just had one more player there on point, if one of them would have swapped to a Tracer, they might have been able to get there in time with that Junkrat tire going off and being able to keep the push going. But there's so much going on in these matches. It's tough. So let's see how strong a defense the Hydra can hold here. This is definitely a point where you can hold a team from getting and securing the first point altogether. But it requires a lot of coordinated play and a coordinated defense and really calling out your targeting. That's really probably the biggest thing we need to work on as a team is really calling out and targeting players, not spreading your damage across 6 different players, but focusing your damage on 1 to 2 players on the opposing team. And that really helps you win those team melee type fights where there's a lot of fighting going on all over the place. All right, so Cupertino is going to be running a Moira, a Junk, a Sigma, Lucio, Roadhog, and a May. All right, so it looks like they're going through the building to get them close around this corner. Hydra's playing more towards the point. Backing up 2 point. Actually, good. Their Hog does a really good job with those hooks. That May wall out front lets them kind of close the distance on the point here. Again, this is really where you need to focus your fires. They need to be calling out who they're targeting. You see they're putting those May walls, allows them to get close there, but it's kind of closing down their avenues of approach as well. All right, trading eliminations on both sides. The numbers slightly favor Cupertino at this point. Nice job, LAX, to get that Roadhog of Cupertino. This is kind of what you want, is to draw them into these long-engaged fights, but they managed to get the numbers advantage here. So let's see if the Hydra can break something out. They do have that junk tire. See if that junk tire comes into play. Hopefully something as devastating as they were able to break out last night. They need to get here on point. They shouldn't surrender this point. Again, that junk tire is probably going to come out a little bit late here. It does go off, gets 2 eliminations, and they do get to point just before that timer expires. There you see the ultimate by Hog unleashed. They need to hold this point. They're just the tiniest of a tick. They can't fall off the point. They're draining this clock, which is exactly what they need to do. And the majority of the team's coming back here on a point. So great job by the Hydra to rally back. That junk tire came in just in time. 1 minute, 54 seconds. They can't surrender this point. They can. Obviously, the match isn't over. A couple big eliminations there by Cupertino. But let's Diva get back here on point. They do ice wall off the Diva, though. So nice neutralization of the Diva ultimate by Cupertino there with that ice wall. Here comes the ultimate by Dark Dragoon, but he's unable to get. He's taken out by Moira. So the fight continues. 1 minute, 27 seconds. Great job by this Hydra team to stall them from getting this first point. They just need to get a couple good eliminations. They do have Sigma ultimate here. And just like that, they clear off Barebow Fraggins and get this first point. 3 minutes, 42 seconds. But great stall. Really good job stalling. So you can see how far they have to get. They have to get through this gauntlet and then just on the other side of this building. So it's definitely a holdable point. But they're going to have to work in conjunction and target the opposing team and call out who they're targeting. All right, so they're setting up on defense. They do have Junk Tire and Sigma Ultimate. All right, they need to push their defense up here, hold this corner. They're giving them a lot of ground coming through here at this point. Ice wall comes up. Here comes a Junk Tire. Does manage to take out the Sigma, so it takes out that main tank. Again, they need to concentrate their fires. They're kind of all targeting all over the place. It's a lot of hecticness happen. That Doom does get a pick on Barebow Fraggins Lucio. Here comes a Junkrat Tire from the opposing team. That's going to be huge. 1-2. That's pretty much a team wipe at this point. The Hydra are going to have to hurry back here if they're going to have a chance. They do get Barebow Fraggins, but it's a 1v6. He's not going to last real long. Not sure they can get anybody else back. And that is going to do it for our Hanover Hydra. Good fault fight, good fault matches by both teams. GG's over to our friends from Cupertino. Really hard fault match. Proud of how hard our boys played, obviously. Here's that Junkrat Tire coming just in the nick of time. You can see how far he launched it from. Gets in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eliminations. But no one's able to get there before that match, before the timer expired on the overtime. So let's credit Grizzlies with their second points there. And thanks to our silver team. Epic battle. They took it down. They've come so far as a team, and excited to see what they can do next season for sure. So thanks for tuning in. 4 o'clock, we've got our Hanover Horde Gold team going against the Madison Marvels for the championship for the last match of the season. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Great job, Hanover Hydra, and we'll get them next season. Thanks, everybody. Take care.